The Blue Streak Bash was Conneaut Lake's birthday for the Blue Streak. It was 75 years old that year, and they had a festival. There was a cake judging contest where people baked up a bunch of cakes that had looked like the Blue Streak coaster, and there was some Wurlitzer band organs throughout the park, different types, and there were some smaller organs too, staged outside of different areas and rides. So it was very musical. There was a lot of different things going on there at the park that day, and I believe it was July 20th. It was getting close to the end of the month. I was actually partway through my restoration at the time, so it was nice to see all the fences, well, a lot of the fences painted and a lot of the landscape done already, so it looked pretty nice when people were showing up in crowds finally. They had a couple thousand people there, so it was the biggest crowd I'd seen in a while there, other than what they have every Halloween, which is called Pumpkin Fest. That usually brings in several thousand. There's a lot of events during that too. But this was one of the biggest crowds I'd seen outside of that particular event. And that's also with the exception of Ghost Lake, another really big event there that happens every year at Halloween time. Pumpkin Fest is actually usually in the middle of October. It's usually 3 or 4 days from what I remember. And it's more of a mid-October type of thing, a fall fest. But it does take place during Ghost Lake as well. Ghost Lake is not just Halloween. Ghost Lake goes on for a while longer than that, September and October. But those are the two main events there each year. And this Blue Streak Bash was the first crowd outside of those that I had seen with that amount of people. That is aside from back in the 70s and 80s when I was a little kid, and I used to go there, and there was many crowds. It was like a miniature Kennywood at that time. There was big crowds at that time when they had all the rides. But in recent years, in the last decade or more, uh, this was one of the bigger crowds on the Blue Streak Bash Day. And I almost forgot the 4th of July, too. That gets several thousand people as well. That's also a very, very big day. Here I walk through the Kittyland area and then up through the Devil's Den part of the Midway. I think I'm talking to Brian Carabine or somebody as I'm filming as I go, just trying to get a good look at all the crowds and some of the work that we've done as I walk through.
We'll stay around even though it's raining. Yeah, there's at least a couple thousand. These band organs are pretty cool, aren't they? Walking around taking pictures. Yeah, try some videos off of. Oh yeah, I'm going to. Yeah. If they turn out okay, my phone's not the best for those. I can grab it with my phone. People. We're taking videos for you. Here's the rain. It's just kind of crazy. Oh, good, good. Okay, I'll touch the picture.
Up here around the Flying Scooters and Paratrooper up near the front entrance here is where we had a lot of the fence painting done. So all the fences are nice, bright and white, not on both sides, but some of them to the outside, some of them on the inside. And we also had several landscaped islands, mulched up islands and flower beds planted around that area as well. I had also just finished doing the Blue Streak Grove Pavilions. We had just finished painting those prior to the Blue Streak Bash opening, and also made several different mulched islands and flower beds down through the Midway, as well as some other work along that area, and including all the work we did around Splash City with the landscaping and the painting of the inside of the locker room area and bathrooms and changing rooms. The Travel Channel makeover was also going to be happening the following week around July 27th and lasting until the first couple of days of August. And we would be doing a lot more work in addition to what we did up here around the front entrance. And then a couple months into the fall, September and October, I would be coming back and doing several other projects with fence painting and also landscaping projects, among other things. And immediately after the Travel Channel makeover, which was the following week after this, all through August, I was working on things for Ghost Lake, the House of the Dead, which is one of their haunted attractions. We were putting on a new facade, painting the whole front part of that haunted house, and also doing work around the Tumblebug and the Music Express. In this center part of the midway, you have the Tumblebug and the Music Express on the left side as you're walking down, and on the right across the way you have the Blue Streak roller coaster and the train and the carousel, all of which where we did a lot of work as far as painting and a lot of landscaping, especially in this general area here. And these are some of the Wurlitzers and band organs that you would normally hear on a carousel or in an amusement park. They had a bunch of these. They have a festival with this sort of thing, I believe, at Conneaut as well. They've had it a couple times, I think, up there around this time and a couple years following. But yeah, they're scattered throughout the park, so you can hear different kinds of old-fashioned Wurlitzer band organ type music you would hear in carousels. And there's several of them here, and there's also some smaller ones that we'll come across here in a minute. Here's one of the smaller type organs, and there were a couple of these throughout the park too. This kind you actually have to crank with your hand, as you'll see the guy doing as I walk past. At the end of that clip, after the guy was doing that Wurlitzer, you saw me walking down the lower part of the midway, actually the games midway, and on the left and right sides there are games and a gift shop and a couple other things. And at the very end of that, you couldn't see it in the clip, but there's the Ultimate Trip building, which is what we're looking at right here. During the following week's Travel Channel makeover, where I did a lot of projects for this Mission Amusement show that they were filming the pilot episode for, there was a lot of work done in this building. And if you watch the video after this one, or actually the video I made just the other day before this one, it covers everything that happened in this part of the midway and everything that took place during that Travel Channel makeover. Actually, just part of this building was used, and that was the entrance where you first go into the attraction that they were going to wind up building a week or so later. But the back end of what you're looking at became another Ghost Lake attraction, which was some kind of vampire's lair. This is actually the exit ramp of the Blue Streak. That's why you don't see anybody on it. A couple feet over, there's the entrance ramp, and there's dozens and dozens of people waiting to get on the ride. And these are some of the cakes that people made just in honor of the Blue Streak's birthday, its 75th birthday for the Blue Streak Bash. And they judged these cakes, and afterwards they cut them up, and we all got to eat them as well. And this was in a little area right in front of the Blue Streak. They had a tent set up. You'll see in the following clip. And that's where they had the cakes. And you'll see how crowded it was starting to get there in that midway area where the main rides were around the Blue Streak, and Music Express and some of the other rides. So that was the Blue Streak Bash, the Blue Streak's 75th birthday back in 2013. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you watch the Travel Channel makeover and some of my other restoration projects, and I'll see you on the next video.